we're back. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, I don't know, something was trying to kick us out. Anyway, by
Social
raise of
distancing.
hands. No, by raise of hands, yeah, social distancing. I guess Facebook's doing that now.
Yep.
They don't want us getting too close. Anyway, by raise of hands, how many of you have felt a little stressed lately? Any anxiety? Any anger? Negative emotions?
Any doubts, fears?
Fears is a big one. So there's a lot going on in the world today, right? And if we are feeling like these strong negative emotions, we may end up doing or saying something we regret to the ones that we love the most.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to tell you about some brain research that was done. I think it's really interesting. So they take people while they're sleeping and monitor their brain activity, right? You probably heard of researches like that, studies going on in the field of psychology and brain development. Anyway, the frontal lobe, which is your thinking part of your brain, thinking, reasoning, problem solving, all that function is in the frontal lobe, biggest portion right there in the front. And when you're asleep, that part of your brain is asleep with you.
Goes offline.
Almost no activity in there while you're sleeping. Interesting thing that they found out is when you have high levels of stress, anxiety, anger, fear, all of those kinds of emotions at high levels, same brain activity. The frontal lobe goes to sleep. It goes offline, just like when you're really asleep at night, dreaming. When you have high levels of those emotions, that part of your brain goes offline. So, why does that matter? Because
he's going to tell you why that matters. Yeah.
Because your interaction with other people and your decision-making process is all obstructed. That happens in your frontal lobe. The things that you value most are in your frontal lobe. And when your frontal lobe is asleep, it's like your value system is asleep. When you value having good relationships and interacting well with one another and having peace and harmony,
being kind and patient and calm, right? Those are things I would value.
All of those good values in your interaction with other people, when you are experiencing stress and overwhelm and anger and doubt and fear and all that stuff, that part of your brain shuts down, and so they practically don't exist. So if you wonder why it's hard to have peaceful, in harmony relationships during stressful times, that's why. Because you're out of your mind.
Literally.
You're asleep.
Literally out of your mind, right? And you end up thinking more from the animal brain. You may have heard it as like the monkey brain or the reptilian part of your brain. So yeah, you might do or say things that you regret, right? So,
sure.
How can we deal with stress? We have a couple of tips for you, and I'm actually going to show you a really cool technique that I use all the time. But first you need to be aware. You need to be conscious of how you're feeling. So you may see something come across the news. There's a lot of things that can be stressful nowadays. And maybe you've been thinking about that, or maybe you lost your job, or maybe you were laid off for a while. Maybe you had to go get another job that you don't like.
Or maybe you just told to sit in the house for a month and don't do anything, and that sounds like a vacation for the first couple of hours, but then that's not.
Yeah. So all of these things that can cause us to have these strong negative emotions, and then we end up saying or doing something and taking it out on the people that we love the most. And maybe they would even say something that would trigger us in some way, right? And take us and put that frontal lobe to sleep and have those strong emotions. So if you are aware, we work with clients all the time that we teach, you need to be aware of where your mood is. So they will even throughout the day, 3 or 4 times throughout the day, maybe even set a reminder on their phone to be aware of how they're feeling. Because the more stressed we get, the more literally out of our mind we become. And if we can be aware of it sooner, then we can actually do something.
The sooner the better.
Those negative chemicals, kind of get them out of our mind and get us back in the frontal lobe to act based on our values. So I'm going to share with you a little technique that I do myself that works really well for mild to moderate stress. So if you're like really out of your mind, you got to find out something else to help. But if you're aware and you're on top of it and you're like, oh, I'm just not feeling too good, I'm feeling kind of stressed, or I'm feeling anxious, or I'm fearful right now, this technique is really fun, really easy. It actually works with the meridians in your body. And so you play along with me. If you're watching, go ahead and do this. But you put your fingers like chicken head beaks, right? Like little chickens pecking. And then I'm going to do, this is called the 4 thumps. And it works with the meridians in your body, and with acupuncture and the Chinese meridian studies, they've shown that it really can boost your immune system, calm you down to work on your meridian points. So anyway, point number 1, for thump number 1 on the 4 thumps, you're going to tap on your cheekbones. And when you're doing this, you want to be taking nice, deep, slow breaths, which will trigger the vagus nerve, the parasympathetic nervous system to help calm you down. Okay,
remember, these are chicken heads, so you have to make the sound.
No.
You have to sound like it. It'll help.
Breathe deeply. Okay.
Sound like a chicken while you do it.
The second spot is your collarbone. There's some little indentations right here in your collarbone and the ends of the collarbone. And you're going to tap those there again, breathing deeply. Breathe. Okay. And this is actually the K29 meridian. We won't talk about all that. Okay, the third thump is the middle of your breastbone. So in the middle of your sternum here, this is over the thymus. Actually, this will boost your immune system amid stress. And if you think about King Kong, it's like empowering, plus it's like emotionally empowering, and it's physically actually activating the thymus and getting more of those great T cells into your immune system to strengthen your immune system. Okay, that's 3 thumps. The 4th one is actually below the nipple line, right in the middle of your ribs. You can tap. You probably can't see me, but you can tap or you can rub. Sometimes if you tap, it's actually really tender, and so you might enjoy just rubbing that spot and just do it vigorously. So there again, if you do the 4 thumps, it's here, and then middle of the ribs, below the nipple line there. And it's really super good if you go outside and stand in the grass or in the dirt. And if you can't do that, stand by a sunny window. And this also has a grounding effect. So for those of you that have studied grounding, how important that is to keep us calm, keep our immune system strong, keep us body and spirit connected, and just all these other amazing things. So that's a great one. However, there's other things you can do if you're watching your mood. So what would you do if you're feeling a little stressed? What is something that you can do?
Physical exercise of any kind. Just get up and move. If you like dance, do
Turn
dance.
on some music, some of your favorite dancing music.
In fact, that's another one. But physical exercise, so dance, jog, sports, all of those things create like an antidote to the chemistry that's going on in your brain when those negative emotions are shutting down your frontal lobe. Physical exercise creates a chemical in your brain that will neutralize the effects of that and bring your frontal lobe back online, so you can think, and then you can make good decisions and interact in harmony with peace, love, all that in your relationships. So physical exercise of any kind. How about laughing? That's why I was saying do
yes.
that. Sound like a chicken while you do the thumping.
To me, I'm like
and
really
maybe
serious
that will make you laugh. And laughing is going to change your brain chemistry in a really good way.
So we love Dry Bar Comedy.
We
I
enjoy
like to watch that.
enjoy clean comedy from Dry Bar,
Yeah.
and so always a good laugh there. So do something to laugh, even if you have to tickle each other or something. Maybe tickling is physical movement and laughing, and so
Yeah.
get your chemistry right in your brain, and it will help in your relationships.
Other things you can Google breathing techniques. There's a lot of different ones. A simple one is 2-4-6-8. Breathe in 2, breathe out 4, breathe in 6, breathe out 8. Another fun thing I love that is on my phone, it's an app. It's called the Calm app. And we love being up in the mountains by the lake, so you can go to that scene. You can go to the beach. You can go to a rainstorm. Like, they have all these really cool things to just kind of calm your brain down, get it back online so you're thinking from your frontal lobe, not back in that animal brain. So yeah, those are some of our favorites. So
music, she mentioned.
Music, yes.
So your favorite music. Music is really powerful to shift the chemicals in your brain. You just connect and you feel the music. You feel it as a vibration. You feel the message that is in there, and all of that gets in your brain and creates a different chemistry that gets you. That when that chemistry changes, your thinking changes, and that's really helpful. Laughing, exercise. When your brain chemistry is right, you can think right, and then you can say and do things that you don't regret.
yeah. And I've seen a lot of people serenading us on Facebook. So whether you like to be the one that's singing or you like to be the one that's listening, I listened to a beautiful song from a mother and a son today and brought me to tears. So there again, getting in touch with our positive, good emotions. So go discover, see what helps to keep your frontal lobe online, get you out of the stress, the anxiety, the fear, sadness, those types of things, and realize that you can control that. And
right, we don't have to be a victim
Yeah.
of the emotions that are forced upon us by all these extra strenuous things that are going on that we can't control, but we can control how we feel. And we just have to do some of those things that change our brain chemistry, and that will help us control the emotions that we want to have.
So if you have any ideas, share below here what helps you to calm down and to be able to keep your relationships good, happy, and healthy, okay? So we're going to go have some healthy fun tonight. We hope you guys have a great night too. We'll catch y'all later.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.